Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Hi, Instagram. Hi, Facebook. How's everybody doing this evening? So, Jacqueline Kabah Harrison here. You have joined me for Evening Motivation with Jackie, which happens every Tuesday and Thursday at 10-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, I titled this one Transparent Moment Part 2 because I started it last Thursday, right? So now I'm doing a part 2. But before we get into that, I just want to say again that I am a confidence and success coach. And what I do more specifically is I help women that are coaches and or consultants, help them to create effective strategies for themselves in which to address negative self-talk as well as those self-sabotaging behaviors that basically pop up, right, every now and again, or for some people more frequently than others, that basically prevent us from growing our business in the way that we want to, right? That basically prevent us from showing up in the form or fashion that we want to. Okay, so that's what I do more specifically, which leads me into another announcement is I'm actually going to be starting another Facebook group. I had one before, but I haven't really been filtering people in it because I knew that I kind of wanted to switch some things up a bit. So I finally made the decision to go ahead and start another Facebook group. And this group is going to be specifically in reference to mindset. I'm going to be dealing specifically with mindset as it pertains to personal and professional development, personal, professional, and leadership development for coaches and consultants. Okay, so that's going to be the specific focus for this group. And once I finish the video, I will go back in and put the link in there. Like I said, I literally just started it. So I want to, let you guys know about it. Like I said, this is new, so come and check it out. Like I said, I will be adding the link as soon as I finish with this live. Okay, I literally just started this like last night at like 3 o'clock in the morning. For those of you that don't know me, I'm like a night owl, and my juices really get to flowing like after 9. So, that's when I come up with all my ideas and, I begin implementing and things like that. So, yeah, so just wanted you to know about that group. I want to make that announcement. And every second and fourth Sunday of the month, I do a Queen's Roundtable show. And that's at 3 p.m. Like I said, every second and fourth Sunday of the month, where I interview a different entrepreneur. And we just basically talk openly and honestly about, I didn't even see the comments. Hey, I have to remember to put this on comments here. How you doing, Miss Tanya? I hope you're doing well this evening. So every second and fourth Sunday of the month at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I interview a different phenomenal entrepreneur. This past Sunday, a couple of days ago, it was me and Tanya, and it was an awesome interview. Just a lot of good knowledge and wisdom was shared. So, check it out. If you, weren't able to join us, go ahead and hit that replay, and still feel free to leave whatever questions or comments you have for us, okay? So if you are interested in being interviewed, you want to maybe put your brand out there, you have a new book coming out, you have a new program that you're getting ready to launch, right? Maybe a mastermind or a webinar or maybe an online summit. And you have different tools and techniques to share with other coaches and or consultants to help them level up their business, then you need to be on my show. This is definitely something you need to do. So definitely go to the link that says, I want to be a guest. I think it says to be a guest. And you fill out the application and, we'll talk. Okay. So that's a good opportunity, like I said, to put your name out there, be able to speak in front of other people's audiences, and just more product awareness. Okay, so I want to make that announcement. And I again want to thank each and every one of the presenters each and every one of the participants, and the presenters. I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation in the Eight Queens Roundtable Quarterly Symposium, all about the business that we just had the 16th through the 19th of May. Of course, I couldn't have done it without you. I just want to thank you all so much. I really enjoy, coming together because I meet so many cool people, and I really network, and I begin to build all sorts of relationships with other coaches and consultants. We all out there we're all out there doing it. I don't want to say trying, we're all out there doing it, right? Making our, money, impacting many, right? Impacting other people's lives in a positive fashion, So I really enjoyed that whole networking piece. I want to thank all of you for your participation. So those are my announcements. I'm going to say this again too. Sometimes I forget to say this, but share this video out, tag another coach and or consultant. And also too, when you get into the group, refer other people to the group, okay? So, sharing is caring. So my transparent moment. So like I said, this is my part 2. So I've told this story before, and I tell it, every now and again. So how I began to first start redeveloping, or let's say redeveloping. It's like it's another word on the tip of my tongue. Restored. Let me say restored. So when I talk about how I restored my self-esteem and or my self-confidence, right? Both. Mine began with African dance. So now at the time, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that at the time I was like, oh, I'm going to take this dance class and I'm going to rebuild my self-esteem. No, that's not what I was thinking at the time. At the time, I was thinking like, wow, I was captivated. I was like, this is something that I want to learn. I watched the women, mainly the women, do the dance and just the communication between the drummers and the dancers. And I saw the freedom. I saw the inner peace. I saw the excitement. I saw the fierceness, and I was drawn to it. It was like an experience that I had never had. I had never experienced anything quite like that. And just from like day one, I mean, it's like I just kind of sat on the sidelines, maybe a couple of classes, sat on the sidelines, just kind of like in awe. So for me, I have to remember to show my comments. So for me, I was like, dang, that is so awesome. I'm like, they are really doing this, And like I said, initially I was really just a little standoffish, kind of like, oh my God, just kind of embarrassed. And I don't think I can learn this, even though I had been dancing all of my life, because we're talking like I was in my mid-20s. So even though I had been dancing all of my life, I had been doing things like ballet. I had been doing modern. I had been doing jazz. I did some tap dance. So I was no stranger to movement. But the whole African dance, that was totally new for me. I had never even heard live drumming, much less dancing to live drumming. So dancing to live drumming was something totally, totally different for me. Dancing barefoot was something totally different for me. Or dancing in a lapa. I was used to wearing like a leotard and, tights, like some sort of jazz shoe. Well, at the time, I just pretty much wore ballet shoes. So, because I don't even think they had all those different fancy type of shoes like they have now that you see a lot of people dance in. So, that's what I was used to, the leg warmers, So all of that was so different for me. And I remember feeling so intimidated. So, okay, so I would go to the classes, kind of stand on the sidelines and really kind of want to be a part of it, but I was a little hesitant. So finally, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to do this. I said, I don't care how crazy I look, right? I said, I am going to get out there and have a good time and just learn. Just go all in, right? Not be worried about having two left feet, because Lord knows they going this way and I'm going this way. Okay. Or they dancing on this beat, a beat that I don't even hear, and I'm dancing on another beat. So it was a lot of embarrassing moments, or a lot of moments where I felt like, wow, am I gonna get this? You know, maybe I should just maybe I should just stop now. Just stop coming. People probably be like, we're glad she stopped coming because she kept throwing us off in class. So it was a very humbling experience for me. Like I said, I knew I wanted to learn it. I was captivated by it. But at the same time, just as much as I was captivated, I was intimidated by it. So thank God that my level of intimidation wasn't higher or wasn't stronger than my desire to learn it, my desire to want to be able to do it and enjoy it and just have a great time, you know. So I kept going and kept going. And I remember things like this specifically. I remember being in class, they have you line up. I don't know how many of you have really, too familiar with the inside of a dance studio. I don't know. Some of you are dancers. Some of you may have children that take dance classes. But typically you come into a room and there's a mirror, like a wall, a mirror from the bottom of the wall all the way up to the top of the ceiling of mirrors, right? And the point of it is to look at yourself, right? To stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself as you do the movement. So I'm bringing that up because I was so embarrassed, y'all. I remember I didn't even want to look at myself, much less have anybody else look at me. Okay. I remember if there was a column, some sort of a pole or something like that in the room, I had to get behind it. Or if it wasn't that, I would get behind maybe a larger person. And I say that because, y'all, back in the day, well, I'm short. I'm like 5'1". So back in the day, I'm like 5'1". I must have weighed like 108 pounds wet for the longest time. So it was easy for me to get behind somebody else and just kind of hide, right? And I remember doing that because I didn't want anybody to look at me. I didn't even want to look at me. And it's like I'm laughing or I'm smiling about it now, but really, really think about that. Right? Really think about that. I didn't want to look at myself. And the thing of it is, I know that I'm not alone. There are some women now in their 40s or 50s that don't even want to look at themselves in the mirror. Some women in their 20s, early 30s don't even want to look at themselves in the mirror. Okay? Don't even want to look at themselves. So I just kind of just wanted to, just stop there for a minute and just to kind of get that out there and really for you all to take that in. And like I said, I'm smiling and I'm upbeat, but I'm smiling and I'm upbeat because I know what African dance has done for me individually. And just even thinking about it just makes me smile. It just makes me feel a certain way on the inside, right? Although I'm talking about something very, very serious that I know a lot of women go through, So going into that class, wanting to learn it, but yet not wanting to be seen. And another dynamic was that a lot of times with African dance, and I guess with other dance styles too, there's always a lot of people that are observing. There's always people like, oh, let me see that. Like if you, maybe if the class is at a gym or something like that, people can actually walk by and they hear the drums and they get interested and they look in like, oh, I want to see what's going on in there. So you got this extra audience. You got this extra audience of folks that you don't even know looking at you. So it was that dynamic. It was the dynamic from the other dancers, because unfortunately, a lot of people were very not so nice. As well as, like I said, the live drummers and actually dancing in front of the drummers, because most often the drummers are men. A lot of times they were younger men, like my age or maybe a little bit older. Like I said, at the time I was in my 20s, mid 20s. So it was all of those different factors. But I made the decision that I was going to go to those classes. And it was many different classes over the years. Whether I was here in Michigan, my home state, whether I was in Atlanta, whether I was in New York, I made the decision I was going to these classes, right? And I was going to look as crazy, crazy is whatever. Okay. But I was there, and I was going to have a good time. But like I said, I had to make that decision in my head. Otherwise I would have been real intimidated, or not that I wasn't intimidated, but I would have been so much intimidated to the point where I would have just been like, I'm out and just never to be seen again. Right. So I just wanted you to really get a feel for how embarrassed and how ashamed I was just to I don't know, just to look at myself, So when I say I know what that feels like, I know what that feels like to want to blend in, want to blend in, not even want to make a peep, because you don't want to draw any attention to yourself. You don't want to draw no attention to yourself. I've been there, and it's not a matter of it just poof, like a magic wand. I'm not gonna say I took 2 or 3 classes and all of a sudden it was like, whoo, I don't care no more, and I'm all misconfident, da da da. No, I mean it took some time, but that's one of the reasons why I'm such a big, big, big advocate of going outside of your comfort zone. Because I always say to ladies, what is it that you enjoy doing? Is it something that you enjoy doing, or something that you think you might enjoy doing? Either one. Let's just say, and I love to bring up this example, and I don't even know if my cousin has even heard me speak about this, but she paints a lot. You know how people go to those, what's it called? Painting with a twist. Is that what it's called? Where they go and, you sip wine and eat fruit or whatever, and then you paint. You have a person there. They, give you all the canvas and the paints and so forth. And there's usually a person there that gives you like something to paint, it kind of gives you somewhat of instruction on how to do it. And they do that. Like both of my cousins, they're both sisters, and they just paint. I mean, and that's something that they do that's very relaxing for them. So that's like a form of self-care for them, but they're awesome at it. I mean, I've seen some of the things that they've painted, and I'm like, oh my God, like, are you serious with this? Like, did you really paint that? It's amazing. So, and that's not one of my strengths at all. I did one of those painting with the twist things, and mine didn't even really look like the actual picture. Actually, they kind of made fun of me about it, but it was fun. But I'm saying all that to say that might be something that you might like doing, or maybe you like it, or maybe it's just something you kind of stumble upon. Maybe somebody invites you to one of those parties, and you go and you do it, and you're like, dang, I really like that. So you get your own little paints, and get a little area in your house that you can do it in. If you, I don't know, maybe you've always wanted to join a wine club. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Maybe you've always wanted to join a wine club. Go for it. Do a little research. We know everything is at our fingertips, right? Do a little research. Find you a couple of wine clubs and say, maybe this month I'm going to check out this one. Next month I'm going to check out this one, and maybe go to a third one, and you'll see which one like feels good to you. Which one you'll be like, yeah, I think I want to come back here. These people are cool. Location is cool. The time is cool. I'll be back. Right? So whatever it is that you enjoy, or that you think you might want to, that you think you may want to try, do it. That's a good way to step outside of your comfort zone. And also, if you really like doing it, that could also be stepping outside of your comfort zone, as well as learning a new skill, as well as practicing a form of self-care. So I definitely recommend that. And again, I don't care. Maybe it's crocheting. Maybe you feel like you want to take guitar lessons. I know that's something that I kind of thought about for a minute, just a hot second, because I've never played a musical instrument before. I've heard some people say that they do acting classes or maybe a writing class. So I'm a huge, huge advocate. You hear me talk about that over and over again and post about it. Go outside of your comfort zone. Make it a regular habit of going outside of your comfort zone. It will do wonders for you. Wonders. Okay. Because it helps to build up your self-esteem. It helps to build up your self-confidence. And when we talk about self-confidence, we're talking about your belief in yourself, and mindset and a successful business in order to have a successful business, you have to have mindset plus strategy. Now, I know there's a lot of different angles under that strategy realm. There's strategy in terms of ads, there's marketing, there's, closing the sale, there's how to, I don't know, effectively use Instagram, how to effectively use Facebook, effectively use LinkedIn, right? I know that there's a lot under that umbrella on that side of business. But my point is that you have to have the mindset piece and the strategy. You can't have all the strategy, but do no mindset work. Because if you don't believe in yourself and your abilities to be able to carry out those tasks, to be able to show up, right, consistently with intention as the expert that you are, you're not going to be successful at your business. I don't care how much strategy you have. You can have all the strategy tools in the world, but if you're not showing up, you're not using them. You're not using them, or you're not using them effectively. So what's going to happen? You're not going to produce the results that you want to produce. And then when you don't produce the results you want to produce, or at least not even close to the type, not even in that right direction, you have a tendency to get frustrated, right? Then you start feeling defeated. Then you start getting unmotivated, not necessarily in this order, but getting unmotivated. Then next thing you know, you're at a standstill. You're stagnant. You're immobilized. And then usually what happens after that, people give up. Okay. So you have to have that mindset plus the strategy. Mindset plus business strategy. Have to have that. So that's why I like to share that in terms of just kind of letting you know a little bit about who I am and my why behind my business. And that connects into my why because I know what I went through in terms of feeling limited, very limited, always on the outside looking in. I always was able to congratulate other people, to recognize good qualities or strengths in others. But when it came to me, it was like crickets. There was nothing that I really thought that I did well or that I really stood out for, or, couldn't take a compliment from someone saying that I did something good, or just overall not believing in myself, like not feeling that I possessed the skills inside of me to be able to achieve whatever vision or visions I had. Like I saw it in other people, but I didn't see it in myself. I could applaud someone else, but when it came time to me, it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's for them, or they deserve it, but I don't. And that's a whole nother level right there of not feeling deserving or not feeling worthy, right? But when you increase your self-esteem and you increase your self-confidence, that decreases, right? Because you begin to know that you are worthy. You begin to, once you know better, you begin to do better. You begin to demand better, right? Because if you know you can achieve whatever you want to achieve, then why would you settle for less, right? And I don't care what it is. It's like I hear something pinging, but I don't know exactly what that is pinging, y'all. And I don't have it pulled up on my other device. So somebody else is leaving a comment and I just don't see it. I'm sorry. But so what was I saying? So if you don't feel you can do it or you can achieve it, then you're not going to. You're not going to even try. You're going to give up before you even try. Or you may do something that may not work out exactly the way you planned it to work out, and then you want to give up. And it's like, oh, I throw in a towel. Oh, I knew I couldn't do it. Then it's like that self-fulfilling prophecy. No one's Everything that, even the most successful person, everything that they do every time, every product that they put out, or a video, or a blog, or a book, or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a number one seller. It doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to resonate with that 100%. You know what I mean? So people have all sorts of, I don't want to say failures, but all sorts of things that they put out in their business that did not produce the exact desired results that they wanted. But they don't just give up, because they know that they are worth it. They know that what they have to give is worth it, right? They know that what they are given as a coach can help others transform their life. If they do the work, obviously, if they do the work. Nothing is a magic fix, nothing, you don't have no magic wand, but people have to be ready and willing to do that work, right? And they know that if individuals are ready and willing to do that work and accept their part of their responsibility and are open to learning, right? Open to growing, then they are able to serve as that catalyst to give that person different tools and techniques that they can utilize in order to push through their fears, right? In order to get them to the next level, to the next step. Because a lot of times people just need that guidance, or they might need the accountability, or they may need to be shown some different ways to do something. Or sometimes people really benefit from you helping them to see what their strengths are. Because a lot of times when people have lost their way, they don't know what their strengths are, if they even think they have any at all. So that's part of why I like to share this, because, it helps you to get to know a little bit more about me, who I am, what my why is, what I've been through, or, how I did it, where I've come from and where I am today. And that was not the only catalyst, but that was the initial catalyst to my healing, to my restoring my self-esteem and my self-confidence. So there were other, things that happened that I did that also furthered me along that path. But that was the initial starting point, if you will, learning that African dance and actually just kind of getting in there and learn, just going for it. Like I'm here, like, how they say, almost like somebody just dropped me in some water, it's like you're gonna do this, either you're gonna sink. So, I got in there, even though it was something that I did, self-imposed. I got in there and made the decision to do it, that I was going to do it, that I was not going to sink, that I was going to do it, right? So, and if I can do that, you can do that as well. So, again, every second and fourth Sunday of the month, A Queen's Roundtable Show, it happens live from my Facebook business page at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the A Queen's Roundtable Show is on Anchor. It's a podcast on Anchor, as well as, I believe it's Apple Play, as well as Spotify and iHeartRadio, where you can actually go and hear all of the episodes, for all the past episodes for A Queen's Roundtable Show. So always note that, please join us live, like I said, every second and fourth Sunday of the month. But if you want to see the older the older shows, or maybe just want to hear it again, you want to have it at your disposal, we can be found, like I said, on Anchor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple. I believe it's Apple Play or Apple Podcast. Yeah, I have to check that one out, but I'm sorry, but definitely the Spotify, the iHeartRadio, and Anchor. Okay. And the other thing that I mentioned is that I will be putting the group link here. Like I said, I'm starting a new group, and it's going to be focused on mindset. So please, join us. It's going to be called Mindset Mastery Incubator with Jacqueline Kabah Harrison. And like I said, I'm going to be focusing on we're going to go deep into different mindset strategies, right? Or everything affiliated with mindset for coaches and consultants to help you develop personally, professionally, and your leadership skills, right? To help you develop all three of those to be a better version of yourself, a better, version of a coach today than you were yesterday. Okay, so check that link out and refer friends as well. And also share this video out or tag another coach or another consultant. All right, y'all. So with that, I am going to leave you. Miss Tanya, thank you for joining me. So again, everyone have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you all again soon. All righty. Good night, all.